Good morning, all my 4PG friends, and welcome to lesson 10.7. But first, let's start with the ticket in. So, Billy, you're the man. Today, Billy needs your help. How many lines of symmetry does this shape appear to have? So, first, I'm going to do the hard ones first. So, I got my handy dandy ruler today. Mrs. Pellegrini will be so proud. That's if I can draw straight lines, though. All right, so that's one going right down the middle. So that's vertically. Then, of course, I can go horizontally with it. That would give me a line of symmetry. So that's two. Then I'm going to go from this side to that side diagonally. Now, if I fold that in half, that would be identical. And then I'm going to go this side to that side. Okay, so that's four so far I have. Now I'm going to go vertice to vertice. So I'm going to again go on the diagonal. So that's five. And one last one. Down a little bit. There we go. Oh, the top part I made off a little bit. But this one has 6 lines of symmetry. And that's your answer for the ticket in. How'd you do? Great. All right. So you have we can put that on the side. You have your workbook open to page 587, which is lesson 10.7. And have your reteach handy too, because we're going to jump over to that. All right, so let's look at the top on the Unlock the Problem for 10.7. So we're going to be problem solving using shape patterns. So this will be fun. You can find patterns in fabric, pottery, rugs, and wall coverings. You can see patterns in shape, maybe in size, maybe in position, maybe in color, or a number of figures. So right now I'm in my kitchen. So you can see I just pulled out this mug, this really cool mug Michael brought back for me from Colombia. There's many patterns in here. You can see the border that goes all the way around. Okay, I can see it in color, black, white, black, white, black, white. Oh, look, butterflies. Yeah, just notice those. Okay, we know the butterflies are symmetrical, but we see the pattern. This is a darker blue on this side. This is actually like a lighter blue over there. And then it repeats over on this butterfly. Actually, no, it's the same color blue. What am I talking about? But his body is a lighter blue. We can see that it goes yellow. Then it's got the red border. And then I see all kinds of different patterns in here. Okay, but let's take a look at what they gave us in 10.7. Sophia will use the pattern below to make a wallpaper border. What might be the next 3 figures in the pattern? Use the graphic organizer below to solve the problem. So I have real blocks here, and if we were in school, we would have you play with these. So I have my trapezoids and my triangles because I'm noticing that's what they use. They use trapezoids and they use triangles. And this, look at that. Mrs. G made my own pattern, just like the one that they have. There goes the camera again for the first one. All right, so let's fill out the bottom here. Read the problem. What do I need to find? I need to find the next 3 figures. And that's what you're writing here. So go ahead and do that for me. What information do I need to use? I need to use what do I need to use? I need to use the shape. Because that's how this pattern is going to go. This pattern is going to be done by shape. Also, I can see color too, but I think we're gonna work it just by shape. Will be the easiest way because we're gonna have to describe the pattern. How will I use the information? I will use pattern blocks to model the figures and act out the problem. And that's why I have my handy dandy pattern blocks here. But I really don't think I'm gonna need them. So let's go down to the bottom here to solve the problem. Describe how you act out the problem to solve it. Well, I used a trapezoid, ta-da, and a triangle, yup, that's true, to model the first pattern, the first figure in the pattern. I used, all right, so now this is where we had to put, I used a trapezoid, so that's what you're writing there. And blank, blank, to model the second figure. Well, if I go up to the second figure, I see that's one trapezoid and 1, 2, 3 triangles. So that's what I'm going to write, and 3 triangles. I continued to model the pattern by repeating the models of the first 2 figures. So look, I mean, if we go up above, I have 1 trapezoid and 1 triangle. Then I have 1 trapezoid again and 3 triangles. Back to the first one, it repeats. 1 trapezoid to 1, 1 to 3. Okay, so the next 3, of course, is going to repeat, because if I ended here with the 3 triangles, I'm going to repeat now back to the first one. 1 and 1. Then it goes 1 and 3. And 1 and 1. So look in the blue box here. Look for a pattern. How can you describe the shape pattern using numbers? Okay, so we're not going to describe it using the shapes. We're going to describe it using the numbers. Well, could we say this? I can describe the pattern as 1, 3, 1, 3 to describe the number of triangles. Is there another way I could have described this pattern? Yeah, of course. I think I hear some of you saying, well, you can describe it by how many each pattern, how many total shapes they have in each pattern. So I could also describe it also, well, the first one has 2, 2, then the second pattern has 4, 2, 4. I can go on that way to describe the total number of shapes. I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. Okay, so when it asks us to describe the pattern, we have to be careful what it's how it's asking us to describe it. In this case, they wanted us to describe it by using numbers. So those would be the best 2 ways we could do it. We could do it by describing the triangle, or by describing all of the shapes. You wouldn't want to describe it using the trapezoid. That would serve you no purpose because there's only 1 trapezoid in each picture. All right, so let's flip on to the next page. So page 588. All right, so up at the top, try another pattern. Okay. Draw what might be the next figure in the pattern. All right, so we have figure 1 has 1 circle. Figure 2, I'm saying has, well, here's 2 here, but 2 up here. 3 is 3. 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Go ahead and draw what you think 5 is. Go. Does yours look something like mine? All right, so let's finish answering in the graphic organizer here. What do I need to find? Okay. And you're putting I need to find. The 5th figure. What information do I need to use? Okay, well, I need to use the arrangement of the circles in each figure in my pattern. So that's what I'm going to put. I need to use, stealing those words from the question, I need to use the arrangement. Because they're arranged in a very structured way. Arrangement of the circles in each figure in my pattern. Okay? And how will I use the information? Well, if we were in class, we could use like counters, but we just drew it. So we're going to put, I will make circles to model the figure. Okay. Now, down at the bottom, solve the problem. Well, the question was, how can you describe the pattern? And now we have to solve it. All right, so how would we describe it? Well, there's a couple ways that we could describe it, but I want you to think of rows. So rows is like we're in the movie theater. Rows go across. And in columns go up and down. Okay? So if I'm describing this using rows and columns, it'll be a lot easier to write that up. So I can say something like this. The first figure, so you're writing this down, the first figure has 1 row and 1 column. Period. Next sentence, the second figure, I'm going to put 2, then an ND. The second figure sorry, that's a U, it closed in on me, has 2 rows and 2 columns. And do you see that? Going back to our original figure, it has 2 rows and 2 columns going up and down. And then I'm not going to keep on going on and on and on, okay? And I'll put and so on. Okay? Now, let's look at question number 1. Use the figures to write a number pattern. So underline number pattern because they want us to describe it writing a number pattern. Then describe the pattern in the numbers. Okay. So our number pattern, if we look, how many does our first shape have? Well, it has 1. How many does the second shape have in all? 4. How many does the third shape have? Well, it has 3 down and 3 over. That has 9. And the next, if I go 4 down and 4 over, that's going to give me 16. And then the fifth pattern is going to give me 25. So it's an array, isn't it? I'm multiplying the number, how many I have down, with times the number I have, how many across. So that's an array. So I'm going to describe it this way. I'm going to write 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, period. And then describe the pattern in the numbers. Okay, well, how did I get that, in other words? What could be the rule? Well, if you look at number 1, how did I get the answer to 1? Well, I multiplied the figure number, he's in the first position, by how many figures are in that number. So 1 times 1, that equals 1. Look at the next one. It's figure number 2 times how many maybe are in the bottom layer or in the bottom row. So 2 times 2 is 4. Here's 3 times 3 is 9. So I can describe it that way. So this is a possible answer. You might have a different one, but I'm going to put 1 times 1, comma. My next one is 2 times 2, comma. Or this is the array, isn't it? Because the next one is 3 times 3, looking at it like an array. Go back up here again. 3 times 3, going down and going over. The next one would be 4 times 4 and 5 times 5. That's how I can do it. And so on. Okay. Now, if we follow that pattern, this will be easy to answer number 2. What might the 10th pattern in the 10th number in your pattern be, and explain? Well, think about this. The other ones we were getting just an array, right? We were going down and over, multiplying down and over. So what would the 10th one be? Well, that would be, if I had 10 going across, 10 going down and 10 going across, my answer is going to be 100. You got it. And I can find, we had to explain this, so I can find the 10th, I'm going to go 10 and then TH, the 10th position by finding 10 times 10, period. That's it. All right. So let's move over to page 589, up at the top for the Sharon Show, number 1. And don't forget, guys, you can pause this tape at any time. Marisol is making a pattern with blocks. What might be the missing shape? Or what might the missing shape be? Look at the blocks. Okay, so we have shape number 1 is a triangle. Shape number 2, I have no idea. Shape number 3 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Shape number 4 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Oh, I think I know what number 2 is. Okay, so what is the pattern? Okay, so each time, and I didn't even figure out the last one. I just stopped at number 4 because I bet I know what the next one is, but I'll count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one has 7 sides. This one has 6 sides. This one has 5 sides. That one we said had 3 sides. So describe Marisol's pattern. Well, we're going to increase. Increase means to go up. Increase the number of sides of the previous shape by 1 more. Okay. All right, now it says here, finally, the missing shape. So what is the missing shape? We got to draw it in there. You can draw any 4-figure shape you want, but we know it's a quadrilateral because that's what was missing there. And I'm going to put a number 4 there. I can now see that it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's do number 2 before we do the reteach sheet, because I have reteach so I don't remember. So I remember to do it. Use the shapes to write a number pattern. Then describe the pattern in numbers. Okay, so it wants us to write a number pattern. So let's do that. We're going to start off, of course, with 3. That was the first one. Then we did 4. Then it was 5. Then 6. Then 7. And I'm going to go dot, 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 because I can keep on going. That's all that is here, but I could keep on going. So it wants us to describe the pattern in the numbers. Okay, well, I'm going to put this. The first one here, we call that the term. Remember, the first one is called the term. So the first term is 3, and the rule is add 1. That's it. And that's basically what we did. We just added 1 more side. All right, once you get that, put that aside and pull out your reteach sheet. Mine's on pink. I think yours might be on pink too, actually. Okay, so you know the top part is the snapshot of the lesson. So let's look at number 1 here. Describe a pattern. Draw what might be the next figure in your pattern. So here's our pattern. So we have 1 circle, and then look, we have 2 circles and then 1 above. Then 3 circles, 2, and then 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, what would be the next one? I'm thinking I have 1 on the first row, then 2, then 3, then 4. I'm thinking the next one's going to have a row there of 5. and then it would be 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Do you see that? And how would I maybe describe that? Well, I'm going to put there is 1 more circle in the bottom row it's hard to hold the camera and do this with one hand. In the bottom row and, oops, and 1 more row in each figure. That's one way I could describe this. You might have another way, but you want to be really clear. I can certainly see what I wrote follows that pattern. There is 1 more circle in the bottom row and 1 more row in each figure. So I'm always adding a circle to the bottom and adding another row. And last but not least, use the pattern. How many circles will be in the 6th figure? Well, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is in, this is the 5th figure. 1, 2, 3, oh, let me get in the camera, 4, 5. What would be the 6th one if I follow that pattern? Well, the 6th one, you're going to have 6, a row of 6. Then the next one's going to be 5. Then it's 4. Then 3. Then 2. Then 1. And if you add all of those up, that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You're going to have 21 circles. Okay? All right, so this is what I want you to do. We're going to go back to page 589. You're going to do 3, 4, and then on the next page, on page 590, you're going to do 5, but your Chromebook should be able to work that QR reader, so you can definitely scan the Fox, and he's going to walk you through how to solve number 5. And then 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to come back to the tape. So I want you to pause now, and then you're going to press play again, and I'll have the answers for you. Go ahead. All right, guys, welcome back. Here's the answers on page 589 for number 3 and 4. 4 is a pretty easy one, I thought. 3, you just have to add 2. So like if you go back to this figure here, figure number 5, well, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So the next figure is going to be the figure number, which is 6, right? Plus 2 more. It's always an increase of 2. And that's how they got that one for number 3. All right, so here's the answer for the QR code one, number 5. Here's 6. And that's a possible answer. And again, you can hit pause at any time. Here's 7. And then here's 8. Did you get this one? With the BYY and all that, the blue, yellow, blue, yellow. All right. So the last thing I wanted to show you was you can hit pause at this time. And why don't you give page 580, 591, and 592 a try. All right, see you back soon. Okay, friends, here's the answer to page 591, the homework, which is just number 2. Of course, number 3 doesn't have an answer there. And here's page 592. Here's number 1 and 2. Did you get that? Number 1 was always a little tricky. And here's 3 and 4. And again, if you ever have any questions on the spiral review, just let us know. We'll be happy to go over that with you. And here's 5 and 6. All right, friends, that's it. Have a great day. Bye.